Hello, everyone. Welcome back to welcome back. That's like we were like, hello. Let's try this again. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the pre-show for Ruining Movies. I say it's a pre-show, but really it's a pre-show. Hi. This is the pre-podcast waiting room. You'll see we have drinks and snacks over here. I also need to jump in chat for Shayne to join. The good old hot tub, the podcast hot tub. We don't just podcast in a normal room here at Ruining Movies. We podcast in a hot tub. That's, for all our hot and spicy takes. Are hot tubs filled with spicy water? Would you say they're spicy water, or is it just hot water? Or is like carbonated water? I'm not a big carbonated water guy. I gotta say that. I like tap water. Pretty basic. I think carbonated water is spicy. Right? As you can see, I am stalling for time right now. Last week I was late. This week Shayne's late. Not my fault. But I think carbonated water is spicy. But I think I would take the spicy water over like Dasani any day. Right? Like Dasani just is not good. I heard like they put like salt in the water or something. I don't know. I lost my glasses. Yesterday I had my glasses, but I didn't have my hat. But today I have my hat, but not my glasses. Things are a disaster. Also, my allergies are wicked bad right now. So if you hear me sniffling during the podcast, that is why. Alright, let's see. Let's get some other tabs open right now while we wait. IMDb, Royal Tenenbaums.
Punctual as usual.
Hi, do you think carbonated water is spicy?
Spicy, like in
Spicy.
the good modern term of.
Well,
like,
okay, I guess like
it's spicy, bro. Or
I guess both ways. Do you think it's like spicy, like hot spicy, or I guess hot would describe both words I'm thinking of right now too. Like spicy, like it's tingly in your mouth. Oh god, that's not a clip I want on the internet. Like spicy.
No.
Okay.
In neither
I was
sense
trying to
of the
kill
word.
time before the podcast, and I was talking to myself about it, and I just.
Although I have had some beers that had like chili peppers in them, carbonated spice.
Is hot sauce spicy water?
Yes, and
right?
Vinegar and other stuff. It's.
I wonder if you could make like spicy water and like market it. Like like
hot
how there's
sauce
like
is just
really
hot
like
sauce, man.
Like really like death water, like that really extreme water. The water doesn't need to be that extreme. It's water. But like, could you spell like we could like make water and put spicy water in it? And we probably could sell it.
Yeah, for sure. I was recently at my local supermarket and saw some unicorn popcorn.
Was it just like colorful popcorn?
That's it.
Yeah, is it like Superman flavored, like ice cream?
I don't know. I didn't
That'd
look
be
at it
good,
really.
actually.
I just saw it and I was like, huh, that's a way to market some popcorn.
That is. Yeah. I feel like our energy, our last two podcasts was really high, and right now I feel really mellow.
Yeah, this movie wasn't as lighthearted as the last two, I guess, even though they weren't all that lighthearted a couple times. This movie was just a bummer.
It was a bummer. Well, we'll talk about that later. Let's get this podcast started. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to Ruining Movies, the podcast in which we talk about stuff and ruin stuff. That's the description of our podcast. I'm your host, Zach, and with me finishing our Wes Anderson trilogy with the Royal Tenenbaums is my co-host Shane. Host, co-host.
Hi.
They're like the same. Have you ever like thought about that? Like host and co-host like mean the same thing.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on how many co-hosts there are. For us, it means the same thing.
Right.
But like if we had a guest, wouldn't we be the hosts?
And they would be the co-host, or would they be a guest host? Because like my thought process is like, I could say like I'm your co-host Zach, and there's Shane, my other co-host, but that feels weird. But I could also say I'm your host Zach, and the other host is Shane. But then it's not just a like what is a co-host?
So the reality is here.
Yeah,
I do very little work for this podcast. So you could rightfully take the title of host, which in my mind makes me co-host.
Welcome to
I'm like your underling.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone, where we talk about podcasting.
Yeah.
Inside baseball,
because,
everyone loves it.
Like I've always been here, but like if we were both co-hosts, it's like 50-50 split.
Right, like
right. But that's really not the reality of what this is.
That is fair. Like, what if I just like start introducing you as like the guest host, but like you're always the guest?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Is that a bit? Is that like a good? That's probably not a good bit. All right, everyone. It was a Super Bowl Monday.
You're the
Sunday,
host. I'm
Super
the
Bowl
co-host.
Sunday. Holy, this is going to be a
host.
rough episode, everyone. I can already say, buckle up. Go listen to our last 2 episodes.
Oh,
all right, restarting. Let's do rewind. Be
I'm
kind.
just assistant to the host.
Assistant to the host. Okay, let's do this. A little bit more energy this time. I'm gonna take my slippers off. I think they're just making me too cozy. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ruining Movies, the podcast which ruins movies with you. How fun is that? I'm your host, and what did you say was your title?
I'm the co-host.
You're the co-host, but I thought you said the assistant to the host.
Assistant to the host.
Assistant to the host, Shane, and he's there doing something Wes Anderson. He's on a unicycle. There's a bear chasing him, wearing a tutu. It's Wes Anderson. Woo! A dog dies for some reason because Wes Anderson always kills dogs. That's
terrible.
the podcast, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm the one that gets introduced while talking about dead dogs.
Yep.
Thanks for that, Zach.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm just taking after Wes Anderson. He loves introducing dead dogs out of nowhere.
True.
They're not crucial to the part, like, yeah. They're not crucial to the plot at all. They just kind of happen, and then they're like, no one talks about them again.
He just knows if he hasn't gotten you in the heartstrings in any other way. Like, yeah, this will get you.
Specifically in this one, this week we're talking about the Royal Tenenbaums, everyone. So we'll be talking about that later. But a little bit before the dog dies at the end. Spoiler, I think I should have said spoiler before that. But the dog dies at the end, and like literally like 30 seconds later, they have a new dog.
Yeah. They don't even have the other dog in the ground. He just walks up with another dog.
Yeah, and like in Moonrise Kingdom, the dog gets killed, and then they like talk about it for like a minute, and then I think like there's one more sentence at the end of the movie that talks about it. But like dogs just die in these movies, and they're just like, whatever.
Terrible. Rough.
But you know what? Talking about dogs, let's talk about the Super Bowl. And I'm saying that because Snoop Dogg performed.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I'm not calling anyone dogs who were like at the Super Bowl. I'm just saying Snoop Dogg performed.
My dog, God. Matthew Stafford. Let's go.
What?
My dog, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. He did it finally. He left us and he did it.
What a hero.
Such is life for Detroit sports. What were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about the Super Bowl. So, the Super Bowl was Sunday, everyone, not Monday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, obviously. Whoever said Monday is a dummy.
That's exactly what we were doing on Monday.
Yep. That is true. But anyway, with the Super Bowl, always comes the commercials, which all the commercials were just about cryptocurrencies and NFTs this time, so I don't care about those ones. But I do want to talk about the movie trailers and TV trailers, because that is like, if you don't like the Super Bowl, that is like the one thing that you get out of this event. Is, I mean, you get some music in the middle, you watch some people play football, you get some like snacks and stuff, but you also get some trailers for things, some like the big things coming out this year. Instead of doing any letters from the box or anything, I think Shane and I are just going to go through some of the trailers, talk about them, give our hot takes, and yeah, so let's do this. So there was like a lot more trailers than I remember when I looked it up. So I only picked 4. Like, I didn't pick the ambulance one with Jake Gyllenhaal in it, because I thought that movie already came out this year.
Yeah.
Didn't he do a movie with like an ambulance? Like, that wasn't that movie like last year?
I don't know. I saw that and I felt like I was having some major deja vu.
Right, same. I was like, wait, this happened already. What are you telling? What are you doing?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
I guess he was like in one where like it was like ambulance related. He was just in a film about ambulances or something. So that kind of like blew my brain. And then there was like Sonic 2, the second Sonic movie in this pandemic. This pandemic has lasted so long that we have 2 Sonic movies.
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I guess maybe it didn't come up in our local area.
Oh.
But I guess it was out there. And then like there was also the Jurassic Park one where they're like, look, everyone's back from Jurassic Park, and I just don't care. But we are going to talk about these 4 that I kind of do care about. The first one we're going to talk about is not a movie, so we're going to ruin a TV show real quick, and that is Amazon's Lord of the Rings, which it's not Lord of the Rings, it's The Power of the Rings?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
That's such a long title. We talked about that already, but...
Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. So that means that the next one's going to be called, like, something else. The Lord of the Rings,
Rings of Power, and the rings that bind us together.
Throw a comma in there wherever and just keep adding on.
Eventually 10 years from now, it's just going to be like the first paragraph to the Silmarillion is going to be the title for the show. So yeah, let's talk about this. So this was like our first like big trailer for it. I'm pretty sure like we got like a couple weeks ago like a little like cool like teaser. I kind of feel like this also felt just kind of like a long teaser.
I finished watching it today, so I watched it on Super Bowl night.
Yeah,
and then I watched it again today, and today I was just like, damn. Thanks, Amazon, for 1 whole minute of the show that you've been hyping up for 10 fucking months.
Each episode is more money than I'll ever see in my entire life.
Yeah. So, first of all, I didn't realize that this was going to be like pseudo animation.
It's okay. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It is like Hobbit level CGI, which is bad.
Is that like everything looks like CGI though? Like
it
everything
is, and it looks like bad.
This is why it's so expensive.
It has to be. So like when you talk about like the pseudo animation, it is because that is all CGI. That is all. It's the same thing like with the Hobbit movies. It's just there's a reason the original trilogy looks so good, and that's because a lot of it is practical, and like. Amazon's throwing a $3 gajillion at each episode, and it just looks like a PlayStation 3 cutscene.
It does. This looks like a Kojima cutscene, like from a Resident Evil game or like Final Fantasy or something.
Yeah, it does. The CGI does not look good. I can't this is coming out soonish. I thought the guys with the big antlers looked cool. But like other than that, like I'm like just I still wake up in night shakes, drenched in sweat, thinking of that Hobbit river GoPro scene. Like I think oh god, I really hope this show isn't just that. I'm gonna watch it because I mean Lord of the Rings is sweet. I think we've talked about the Silmarillion on here before. I tried to read it. I got about 5 pages in, but I saw something shiny and got distracted. There's a lot of words in that book I don't know how to say. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like reading a dictionary, right? Like really it's a reference book, basically. I have it back there on the bookshelf somewhere.
Yeah, it's
it's reference material.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess like they didn't give us enough. I feel like their trailer failed. Because I think their trailer, like, if this was their Super Bowl trailer and it was supposed to get people pumped for it, I think it did the opposite. Because all I see right now is people talking about how bad the CGI looks.
Yeah. This is an expensive show.
Yeah, I just read somewhere not like this article is not joking, and it literally said, "There's no question that the Rings of Power will eventually speed far beyond the $1 billion mark."
But why?
Yeah, this movie, this first season was $462 million.
How much did they have to pay for like just licenses?
I don't know.
I
don't
imagine
know how much,
it must have been a lot.
Right. So I have a feeling this is going to do bad, and I don't want to put that out being bad because I would love another really good Lord of the Rings property to come out.
Same.
I love the first trilogy, but like I feel like they probably created this when Game of Thrones was doing really well. Like they're probably like, oh, we have our own fantasy thing that we can throw back. The zeitgeist, everyone is like loves fantasy right now. No one talks about Game of Thrones anymore.
True.
They're doing the Second Age, which is like not an age that too many people are familiar with.
I honestly have no idea what was going on in the trailer. I heard like what I thought was a Lord of the Rings quote in the beginning. What about wondering?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I mean, and so far everything I've heard, even from people who like really like Tolkien stuff on my Twitter, is like it's a combination of who asked for more of this when it looks so bland, and like why does it look like incredibly bad CGI when Peter Jackson made the like Middle Earth look amazing in 2002.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
It just looks like the whole show is like that. Like it looks animated.
It does. I mean, when you said that, that's a good point. Like, it's hard to tell because, like, I'm thinking specifically of the shot where, like, whatever, I think that elf or dwarf or halfling is climbing,
on a cliff?
like, yeah, on the cliff, like the ice cliff.
Yeah, dude, I was like, hold on, is this a cartoon?
Yeah, it does not look great.
And then when they were by the fire and like the fire was glistening on that guy's face, I was like, okay, this is a fucking cartoon. Like this is an animated show. I got you. Just really sophisticated animation. Alita, Battle Angel.
Yeah, I mean I think that's a good comparison.
That's like exactly what it reminded me of. Man.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, throwing money at a thing is not always like, well, is not a guarantee that it will be good.
True.
I
Looking
think
at you, Game of Thrones.
And Transformers.
And Transformers.
I don't know why specifically I'm thinking of Transformers, but Transformers.
Looking at you, Age of Ultron.
Exactly. Okay, let's go forward. So Amazon's, I feel like the Lord of the Rings, Ring of the Power to the Rings. The Olympic rings. I don't know what the type.
The Olympic ring
is like a pretty middle of the road right now. We can go either way. So the next trailer that kind of got me excited was Nope, the new Jordan Peele film. And unlike Lord of the Rings, I am very excited for this.
Nope.
Nope. Do you know that? Did you know that like Nope actually stands for something?
Oh, of course it does.
That he's been like Jordan Peele has been like dangling over what like the movies is gonna be about for like since he announced the title. It's not of planet Earth.
Yes, I knew it.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, he's doing an alien film.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen this trailer yet, it is like the third in Jordan Peele's horror trilogy. Like, I don't think the movies are linked, but it is his third horror film. The first one being Get Out, the second one being Us, which I love both of those films. I think they're both very good.
Yeah, they're really cool. I enjoyed both of them thoroughly.
He has such a refreshing like take on horror, and he's like I think one of the best modern horror filmmakers, just because he takes ideas and then does something new with them and modernizes them. I think they're good. So I'm really excited to see him do a take on Aliens.
Yeah, man, give me scary stuff in broad daylight.
Right. That is a thing that I do like about Jordan Peele, is like his horror films, you can actually see what's happening.
All the time. Like, you don't really like have to, I don't know. There's just been so much cool stuff in movies that has been shrouded in darkness.
Yeah.
Over time.
Absolutely.
He lights them up. I just love, like, and also traditionally horror tends to happen at night. So, like, you know, it's nice to see that stuff. Us particularly had like a bunch of crazy shit happen on during the day.
Yeah, like the final, like the third act is all during the day, and it's terrifying.
It's fucking insane, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this, like, in this trailer, that lady gets just, like, yeeted into the fucking sky right in the plain day.
Yeah, I'm excited. I also like that this trailer didn't give us, it gave us enough to know that, like, oh, it's aliens. We know the characters, but, like, I have no idia what kind of aliens these are. We got, like, a little glimpse of, like, the little guys, I guess. Little friends. But other than that, like, I don't know. I feel like this could possibly be, like, this generation's Signs. And Signs still scares me. Like, the found footage of the birthday scene in Signs is still very scary.
Yeah.
But then there is also the acting and some of the dialogue in that film is not that scary.
Swing away.
Swing away. But yeah, I think this is gonna be good. This is coming out this summer.
I'm pretty excited, honestly. I think it looks pretty sweet, and I really liked pretty much everything Jordan Peele's done.
Yeah. So. I don't even want another trailer. I think this trailer was like enough to get me interested. Like, I was already interested when he announced it, but like this trailer cemented it. And I don't want to know anymore before I go see it, because I think it's gonna be good.
I know enough.
Also, Steven Yeun's in it, and so it's cool to see him. I feel like he's been in a couple things lately that have been pretty cool.
He was Mark in Invincible.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's move into the Marvel territory, because I feel like the Super Bowl the last 5 years have also become like Marvel movie night.
Yeah, true.
Like Endgame trailer, Infinity War. I'm not gonna name all the Marvel movies, but all the trailers, like all the big trailers they're trying to push, come out during the Super Bowl.
I'm surprised there was only 2. To be honest with you, I thought they were gonna drop one that no one knew about yet.
Me too. I honestly, we're gonna talk about Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, but I don't know what else they could have dropped. She-Hulk.
Yeah, I thought they could have done, or
I know Black Panther 2 is coming out, but I think they're keeping that really under wraps. Or wait, Thor. I'm surprised we didn't get Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor or the Marvels or something like that. There's so many
Marvel properties. Holy shit.
I was kind of expecting late year stuff, those 2-second spots they do where they would just put Captain Marvel's emblem on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fourth quarter 2022.
I think they're just really trying to push forth Moon Knight and Doctor Strange.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Let's start with Moon Knight. Because I feel like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is the big trailer. So Moon Knight, we got another minute of footage. I think a lot of the footage was reused though, from the previous trailer. I'm excited. It's kind of cool that we're getting Moon Knight in live action. I don't know what do you have to say about it? I don't know what to say about it. I guess my tongue.
Let me start from the tippity top.
Okay.
I fucking love Oscar Isaac.
Okay, yeah, Oscar Isaac is great. This is his fourth Marvel film.
Yeah, just to see him cast in a main role like this, where he's just I am this superhero.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet, and I think it'll provide for a pretty cool show. And I guess in terms of superheroes and stuff, Moonlight would be one of those all right, you guys can flame me if you want, but he's like one of the like B tier, C tier, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's not known. He's not
street level.
Avengers.
He's a street level superhero,
Yeah.
not like out there fighting Thanos and stuff.
Right.
He's and I like that. I really liked the Netflix shows and like that kind of level of superhero, going out and beating up thugs to get to the boss, and like hallway fight scenes and battling your inner demons, and like a more focused show like that. I've enjoyed those.
Yeah.
It's kind of why I think that I preferred Loki over Captain America and the Winter, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it was like more focused.
Yeah.
On this like one character development. So I'm kind of excited about that. I don't know a lot about the character, so that's the other thing I'm kind of excited about to like learn.
I think. Yeah, I mean, character. I agree with that. Like, I what I know about Moon Knight is from the Marvel Ultimate Alliance in like 2002.
What I know about him is from he made like a couple appearances in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show on Disney Plus.
Nice.
And it was like super brief, you know. He just like shows up and he's like, "Hello, I'm Moon Knight and I'm whooping ass." And one time I think there was like a fake Moon Knight that stole a thing or something like that, and Spider-Man was like, "I gotta get involved and stop Moon Knight." And then the real Moon Knight showed up. I think I could be making all that up. I don't fucking know.
I mean, it sounds like something that would happen in the comics.
I remember him being in the show 100%. But that's my only exposure to him. So like that's the other part I'm kind of excited about. It's like a new hero that I don't really know anything about.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think like there's a couple Marvel shows coming out that are like that. Like I'm really excited to see She-Hulk, because I think that's a character I don't know too much about. All I know is like a little bit about her premise, which will be cool. We have Moon Knight, which is going to be sweet.
Yeah. So while we're on the topic of Marvel, I guess we can say really quick all of the Marvel Netflix shows are coming off of Netflix at the end of the month, which is February right now.
Right, and they haven't announced where they're going yet. I'm guessing they're going to go to Hulu, because Disney owns Hulu, which is crazy to think about, that Disney owns 2 streaming services.
True, and now a Netflix original is going to be on another streaming service.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's nuts. So they are leaving. And kind of talking about the Netflix shows, I know like those were, I think Daredevil and like Punisher, I think all of them were rated M. What am I talking about? They're all rated M. I saw the last rating I saw for Moon Knight was TV 14, but they're still saying it's going to be brutal. So we will see.
Nice.
How it will go. I'm kind of hoping it's more brutal, but if it's going to be on Disney Plus, I don't know how brutal they'll actually be with it. Which could go either way. Okay, so let's talk about the big thing that happened on Sunday night. Not the Super Bowl. No one cares about that. The game was pretty good from what I've heard, and I watched.
I actually enjoyed it. I will say this is the first time I've sat down and watched a football game in like fucking years.
Right. And I mean, like, this halftime show was pretty sweet.
It was awesome.
Yes, but let's talk about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi. I love seeing that name pop up every time I watch that trailer.
Yes, dude, I got so excited.
It's like, this is the first Marvel film that I'm like, just like, hell yeah, the director. Like, I could, like, Taika Waititi always excites me when he's directing, but seeing Sam Raimi's name on there, just like, yeah, buddy. I'm
very excited for that.
So, spoilers, if you haven't seen the trailer, it's 3 minutes, go watch it. But right this movie is going to be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know if Sam Raimi's ever had I imagine that, okay, he's super talented, and I love the guy. He's one of my all-time favorite directors, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that anyone... And a hometown hero. There's no way that anyone has ever looked at him and been like, all right, Sam, here's this amount of money to make our next blockbuster film. And it's been this kind of... I bet you he got just like the craziest look on his face. Shit his
He's
pants.
not
Like,
one of the
holy moly. Even his last movie, I don't know if it was his last movie, but the most recent one that I've seen was Crawl. And that movie looked great. I imagine it probably had a pretty extensive budget. But I'm sure it's a drop in the bucket compared to what was provided to him by Disney and Marvel for this.
I think Sam Raimi is a director who thrives with no money. For
Right.
those who aren't familiar with Sam Raimi, he is the director of The Evil Dead, like one of the greatest horror films of all time.
Yeah, so with that in mind, someone that can strive with so little, you could do so much with that kind of
absolutely
opportunity, I guess.
I guess he also did the Spider-Man trilogy. I don't know how much money they were willing to throw out for the Spider-Man trilogy, though. I'm guessing like a decent amount, but nothing like.
I mean, those looked great too.
Yeah,
a lot of practical effects.
No, that's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping we get a lot of practical effects in this film.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm excited.
Yeah. So in the trailer, we see Doctor Strange being yelled at about fucking up the world. Which is kind of funny if, like, they're going back and, like, the reason everything's fucked up is because Spider-Man wouldn't just go talk to someone about getting into a college. Which is very funny, if that's, like, the actual plot point.
And now, moving forward, nobody even understands, like, why that happened.
Right. Wait, does he even understand? Is he like, oh, no, I just destroyed the
Nobody
world.
knows.
I can't remember why.
Do any of these people know?
Right.
They're just like, he just did this thing for some fucking reason. Like, I have no idea why.
Spider-Man just like walking down the street with like his newspaper, like covering his face, and be like, "Oh shit!"
It's fucking playing that song from Spider-Man 3. He's in a black suit.
It's like, oh, maybe I should have just like talked to. I did save the universe. I probably could have just like went and talked to Harvard, and they would have probably let me in.
Seems as though now the multiverse is experiencing some madness.
These things sure seem to be getting mad around here.
I guess I just shouldn't get myself involved. Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, Doctor Strange has messed something up. Wanda's there. She's been... so talking about Wanda, I really hope she's the villain.
Yeah, I'm not sure, though.
There's
a whole lot going on.
There is a whole lot going on.
You heard the voice, right?
I did, yes.
The voice of God.
Yes. But I really... Like, I would be... I feel like I'll be a little disappointed, like, if they make her a half-villain.
A pseudo-velo.
Yeah, kind of like, I don't want her to be, like... I don't know. I think it would be just such a strong choice for her to be, like, the villain all the way throughout and, like, actually, like, turn to villain level. I know she's, like, on the balance right now, and, like, you can, like, on the, like, walking the tight beam between villain and hero.
She's, like, Omega level, though.
Right, so she could be, like, I don't know. I think she'd make a great villain, and also, like, I feel like the safe route would be, like, for her to be, like, a villain, like, halfway through, and then, like, be like, no, actually, she's, like, a hero now. Kind of like they did with WandaVision, which I still can't get over, that she mind-controlled an entire town, and then everyone's like, it's okay.
Yeah. Everything's fine. You can go.
These people just lost, like, months of their life. It's okay.
Oh, my gosh. Man. Yeah, this movie's going to have some splaining to do.
It really is.
I have not seen this woman in a while.
Yeah.
And not only now is Doctor Strange choosing to get involved with her.
He was busy messing up the multiverse for a person he doesn't even remember anymore.
Right. Excuse me, Wanda, do you think you could help me understand why I just fucked everything up?
Yeah, I
have no idea why. It seems as though I wiped my own memory for some reason. That was silly.
I think I have a weird like recollection of like bringing like Tom Hardy into the universe and just sending him away.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
Patrick Stewart's back.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Cool.
Also, there's some other stuff going on. Which is leading me to believe that maybe Wanda's not the ultimate. There's just so many Doctor Stranges in this trailer.
There's a lot of Stranges.
I saw like at least 3 different Doctor Stranges that aren't our Doctor Strange, who might not even be our Doctor Strange.
Right. I'm excited. I think Sam Raimi is like the right director to put in charge here. I like don't have too much else to say about it. Like it's a really complicated trailer to talk about.
There's
Unless
a lot of
yeah.
fan service here, I think.
Yeah.
If you know stuff, and if you don't know stuff, then you should be very excited for the things to come.
That's fair. My last thing I want to say about this trailer is like Marvel's going through this phase right now where it's like, here are all these cameos from people in the past. We're even going all the way back to the X-Men 97 animated show, not film. Was there ever a 97 animated film? Animated show. They're gonna run out of cameos. Like at the end of this year, it feels like.
Yeah, maybe.
Like it feels like that's their big draw right now. It's like, look, Patrick Stewart's back. Look, the X-Men are back from like the 2000s, and maybe please give me Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage back.
Oh, man. I have a feeling it's going to be the one from Agents from S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, that one's cool too. I like Ghost Rider. But like after like go through all that, and like I feel like that's going to be a novelty that like slowly fades, because like everyone was super excited for the Spider-Man to appear in the latest Spider-Man. But like at a point you kind of lose that thing, and I think like what's their next step? Do they bring back like Captain America and Iron Man? Like
so
that would the only thing be like the
yeah.
only thing that they could do to like one up it.
My thought was a while back that they might just be leading into some like hard reset.
Yeah.
I mean, because now you have this Peter Parker Peter who?
Spider-Man who?
Yeah. So that's a thing. And then there's just all this shit going on. Like, you have Loki destroying everything.
Yeah.
You have Doctor Strange destroying everything. You have What If destroying everything. There's just a lot going on. You have the Eternals. Fucking just there's just a fucking celestial like exploding through our like prime Earth right now. So like I don't know how realistic this world is trying to be, but like geologically speaking, our world is fucked.
Yeah. And
that
the
thing
MCU
was
world.
so
MCU world.
Yes. The MCU like prime world, which I think is like 616 or some shit like that. I can't remember.
I think it is 6.
Leave it in the comments.
616 is the comic world.
Probably. Whatever the prime MCU world is like, again, I don't know how realistic they're trying to be, but like those Celestials are fucking enormous, and this one was just its hand came out of it in the Eternals. So like,
yeah,
you know, geologically speaking, volcanoes are going nuts, tsunamis are going nuts, earthquakes are going nuts, everything's fucked. Doctor Strange just ripped open a hole through space-time.
Yeah.
You know, Loki is literally ripping a gajillion holes through all of space-time and the multiverse. It's like it just seems like things are headed towards that, like that proverbial Rick and Morty, like, okay, let's go to Earth 617.
Right, yeah, like so like yeah, that's a very good point.
Where Tom Cruise is Iron Man and John Krasinski and the Fantastic Four are there with Patrick Stewart and Wolverine.
If the Tom Cruise thing is true, I really hope that's just a cameo. I don't like Tom Cruise. I really don't like
Honestly,
Tom Cruise.
I've seen some videos of him in the suit, like in some clips from Iron Man, like really well edited.
Yeah.
Kind of looks sweet, not gonna lie.
I just don't like him.
I hate, man. You don't gotta convince me. I just think he's got the look, you know?
Yeah. That's
Tony
fair.
Stark wasn't always the playboy to the observer, you know? You weren't ever really
like I like Robert Downey Jr.
It's true. He was a great guy, but you know, like
I can never not see Tom Cruise as an asshole.
That might be good for a Tony Stark, especially like a superior Iron Man Tony Stark.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, so I think that's all we got to say. Like I can't think of anything else. It's interesting times with the Marvel films. I think we're always gonna say that. It's kind of like power creep in video games is like they're doing some wild stuff. Like they're gonna have to run out of wild stuff to do eventually.
Yeah. Well, you set the bar with Endgame, right?
Yeah.
And as a company, you have to decide, like, okay, are we just always going to try to push above this bar? Or are we going to try to, like, rebuild to the same bar? Are we gonna, just try to maintain a constant level of excitement for everyone? Like, what are you gonna do? So it seems like they're just always trying to like raise the bar.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of leaning into my theory of maybe they're just gonna reset everything so they can slow crawl upwards.
I mean, I could see them doing that. I feel like at this point, Marvel could do anything, and people would still go see it. So, like,
yeah, you got us, Disney.
There's Disney. Disney can make whatever. The people will go see it. They can really do whatever they want. All right, let's talk about the movie for the week. That was the music changing.
Oh.
Nice. I dig it. Okay.
Movie of the week. Movie of the week.
Movie of the week. All right, now I'm excited. All right, everyone, let's talk about the movie of the week. This week we watched the 2001 Wes Anderson film, The Royal Tenenbaums. This is our third Wes Anderson movie, so this is our last one on the trilogy until we move on to something else. This film stars so many people. Gene Hackman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelica Houston, Ben Stiller, Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson. There's a third Wilson, I think, somewhere in there. Bill Murray, Danny Glover, Seymour Castle, Kumar Palana, Alec Baldwin as the narrator. I always forget that.
Yeah, that was kind of funny when I saw that.
And it is a film about eccentric members of a dysfunctional family reluctantly gathering under the same roof for various reasons. The reasons really being the father, Royal Tenenbaum, kind of just being the worst.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't seen that, first of all, I'm gonna throw a content warning here. There is suicide attempt in this film that we're gonna have to talk about. And I think you said it like up top. This is a dark film. Like, yeah. I know Wes Anderson films are usually like sneakily dark, but this film is pretty depressing all the way through, but still shot in a very whimsical Wes Anderson way. So we start the film with a narrator. Wes Anderson loves his narrators. I still think the Moonrise Kingdom narrator is the best narrator. Just because I think he's the most interesting one.
Very involved too.
Yeah. But we find out that like this family adopted 3 children. These 3 children were geniuses, pro athletes, writers,
Wait,
business
only
people.
One of them was adopted?
What?
Only one of them was adopted.
Oh yes, you're right. Only one of them was adopted. But anyway, like, thank you for correcting me on that.
No problem.
We learned that like they were raised to be geniuses, which was not good. A healthy way to raise kids is raising them to be the best. And we find like the main reason is mostly Royal Tenenbaum. The father, Ethylene, wasn't really the greatest. So like the first part, like the first like 10 minutes is like learning about their childhood. And then to no one's surprise, it jumps into the present and all 3 of the kids are messed up.
To no one's surprise.
To no one's surprise that the kids you raised very bad are all very emotionally destroyed. We have Ben Stiller, who has recently lost his wife, who is like a business tycoon type guy who's always wearing a tracksuit, wearing matching tracksuits with his 2 sons. He's the one who probably hates his dad the most. We have Gwyneth Paltrow playing Margot, who is a famous director and writer of like plays and stuff. Again, theater coming into a Wes Anderson film, something we've talked about the last 2 Wes Anderson films. She's been smoking since I think the joke is like age 10.
12.
Like age 12, yes.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
She's just a wreck. And then we also have Luke Wilson, Richie, who is a famous tennis player who threw his last match. We find out later it is because he is in love with his sister, but they're not blood related, so it's okay. And that he threw it and he's washed up now. And Owen Wilson's there too as the neighbor. Who is an artist who also kind of got just fucked up for being in the the local area of the Tenenbaums.
Yeah, he always wanted to be one, and then just
he became
wasn't great.
famous, but he's also at the end of the movie he's in rehab.
Yeah.
I think we also, I guess, there's so many characters. I'm just gonna go through them all right now. Like I said, Royal Tenenbaum, the dad, played by Gene Hackman. He is a son of a bitch. That is actually a line in the film. He asks if he's and Dan Glover calls him a son of a bitch, which he is. He's not a great dad. He a large part of the plot is actually his character faking having stomach cancer to move into the house with them.
That is real.
Yeah, that is something that happens.
He had me kind of convinced.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this movie, just so you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he is a very convincing liar.
I was both convinced and not convinced. I had questioned it a couple times, but I didn't want to feel like an asshole, for questioning it.
Yeah, that's fair. We have Ethelene Tenenbaum, played by Angelica Houston, the mother, who is currently a big part of the plot too is that Royal will not get a divorce with Ethelene, even though they've been separated for 10 years. She is currently in a relationship with Danny Glover's character, Henry. We've already gone through Ben Stiller. Bill Murray is there, who is the husband of Margot.
It's so ridiculous.
He's just kind of hanging around the entire film. He has like a weird subplot where he's what is he? He's a psychiatrist, right?
Yeah, yes.
And he has
new things like conditions.
We don't really get like that big of a description of like what the hell he's doing.
He discovers a new condition that he diagnoses to
Dudley.
Dudley, yeah, that's his name.
That's like a whole subplot where like there's just a kid named Dudley who's a very awkward child. Who is there? There's a lot of quirky characters. Ben Stiller's character has Chaz has Uzi and Ari, his sons. There's just like a lot of character moments here. This is Wes Anderson's most confined film, I think. Seeing that most of it takes place under one one apartment. A house that has a lot of floors.
And a lot of rooms, which he lets you know what they all are, so you always know where people are and what's going on.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes. And yeah, like I think we talked about this last week, I talked about this kind of being like Wes Anderson's introduction to the mainstream. Before this, he did Bottle Rocket and Rushmore, which are a little bit more under the radar. Bottle Rocket being his real first film, and then Rushmore coming out a couple years after that. Rushmore, I still feel like is one of his least known films. So this is like the big film for Wes Anderson. This is like the one that makes him popular. Whenever I think of Wes Anderson, this is like one of like the top film I think of.
Made me feel a lot of emotions.
Yeah, it is a very, like we've talked about in Moonrise Kingdom and the Grand Budapest Hotel, that like there is dark moments, like they're about war, dog dies in this one. But this film is like truly, even though it is through the lens of Wes Anderson, which looks like very charming, like between each chapter, because there's chapters in this movie, there's like a novel header. And Alec Baldwin is usually reading from that first paragraph. There's a bunch of characters have like notable clothing. Like I said, Ben Stiller's character is always wearing a tracksuit. Luke Wilson's character is always wearing the headband until he goes to kill himself, which is a big character change where he removes the headband, shaves his head. Owen is always wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is always like wearing that suit. So like there's all these things that like from the outside it's like, oh, look at this quirky Wes Anderson film, but it is really truly about how like a love affair that like Richie has always been in love with Margot, that like couldn't happen, to a chance where like he like finds out about Margot is actually having like a fling with Eli, which is Owen Wilson's character, which that is so kind of a weird look. Like watching Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson could like confront each other.
Yeah.
Was something.
They're They're
And it
brothers
is
in
also
real
about
life.
how Royal Tenenbaum is like actually like truly fucks up these kids.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
they're all
From an early
miserable.
age.
We get some at the end of the movie. We do get like some, like it is also kind of a movie about forgiveness. A big part of that is Ben Stiller's character Chaz gets shot by his dad with a BB gun, like even though they're on the same team. And then Chaz sues Royal when he's 14 and makes him get disbarred.
Loses
There's
a bunch of
also,
shit.
yeah, Royal comes back, fakes a stomach cancer so he can get back into the house. He's trying to stop like the relationship between Ethelene and Henry. At the same time, he's convincing his son and daughter and grandkids that he's dying. He's a bastard until the end. It's really,
but
when
also at the same time, he's just trying to like squeeze in time with his family. It's like I realized he was doing some shitty things,
yeah.
but also he had like spent all this time away. He was just seeking some like redemption. He was
Right.
trying to get it.
He is equally a tragic character. He is a tragic, like when I say he is like a son of a bitch, he is, but he is also trying to get like find time with his family, even though he's been distanced, and like he just does it in the worst way possible.
It proved to be worth it though, because it wasn't long after the end of the movie, or after the end of the main plot of the movie, that he kicked it anyway.
Yeah, he dies at the end of the movie. So yeah, I mean, it is it's like a bittersweet story because like he did fake this, but like they've like at the end like everyone kind of ended up better. Richie and Margot got together. Ethelene and Henry got together. Eli checks into rehab. A dog dies. Chaz gets which is not a great news. Chaz gets the help he needs because he's still grieving his wife and he's just like terrified of the world. He has agoraphobia. So like yeah, it is like kind of like this like Royal is a bastard, son of a bitch. Came in, did this awful thing, but at the end it did fix his family in a very Tenenbaum style, seeing like this family isn't a normal family. Like it's something like this would have had to happen to bring them all back together.
Man, so well written. It was so good.
It is. It's one of my favorite Wes Anderson films. It's so good. Wes Anderson, stop killing dogs. Stop
For
doing
real.
it. If I ever interviewed him, that's the question. Why do you always kill a dog in your film?
Oh man.
And then don't talk about it.
At all. They're just like, Dad, they killed Benji, or I
I
think.
can't even remember the dog's name.
Oh, that's
sad too.
And then 30 seconds later, fucking Gene Hackman's like, I got you a new dog.
Yeah, they're like, oh, cool, look, a dog. So yeah, any last things you want to say about this film before we ruin it?
I was surprised by this movie. I thought that it was going to. I just thought it was going to be different. It really just like hit hard a lot of times. You know,
Yeah.
My eyes watered a lot during this movie. I was surprised.
Yeah. I mean, it is a very touching film. Very like the genre is comedy drama, which I would agree. It's like funny, but it also is very.
It also made me laugh a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. The last thing I want to talk about is like the soundtrack in this film, stellar. Elliott Smith.
10 out of 10.
The Beatles.
A lot of Beatles.
Yeah, a lot of Beatles. Bob Dylan, Emmett Rhodes, Paul Simon, the Ramones, the Rolling Stones. It's just a great track list. All right, well, let me get Ruining Movie Bot over here. I really need to do something about these dead eyes. It's always staring at me. All right. For anyone new here, this is the part where we ruin the movie. We use good old Ruining Movie Bot to switch the genre and see if it's a remake, prequel, or sequel. Right now, we are making a documentary musical.
Okay. Hell yeah.
And it is a prequel. So we're going to switch the documentary to mockumentary. Mockumentary musical prequel. This is the second mockumentary we're doing for Wes Anderson.
I honestly think this is so easy.
Hit it. Go for it.
I really enjoyed the cast in the beginning of the movie. And then you just keep the cast that appeared in the beginning of the movie that makes sense, in like in the literal prequel sense. And then you make a musical out of their childhood, their development, like how terrible it was, like the rest of what Gene Hackman did to turn these people into what they are, like the filler stuff, the teenage years, and you make it a musical.
Yeah, I mean, okay, perfect. I like it. The mockumentary too could be like an actual documentary crew. Oh God, are we gonna bring back the the crew from the Grand Budapest Hotel?
Oh my God,
the Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Amazing.
We're bringing them back. They've done a documentary on the Budapest Hotel in the war. They are now doing a documentary in, I think, what is this, New York? I don't think they ever.
I think
it's some East Coast city. I'm pretty sure it's
the
New
Tenenbaums.
York. We bring them back, and they're doing a documentary on these 3 brilliant genius kids.
Are they doing a documentary on all 3 of them, or are they just doing a documentary on Luke Wilson's character?
Richie?
Yeah, because he's like the youngest fucking professional tennis player. He was so good.
Okay, I think it starts with it being about Richie, but then they soon realize there is more to the Tenenbaums than it appears.
Yeah. Now it's like The Office.
Yeah, and then it goes, and then it brings all of them in. And it could even do, there was a film that came out, I want to say a couple years ago, I think it was called Boyhood, that like they actually filmed over like 12 years.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We do the same thing for this, the Tenenbaums. But it's a musical too, and it's like very theatrical. I feel like when we're talking about musical, it's not like the Les Mis musical, it's more like maybe like Across the Universe, which is like way more abstract and way more has way more stage play to it, stage theme.
Maybe like the whole third act is just the original cast from the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yes, absolutely, and we get like the first part could be like the same narrator. We can keep Alec Baldwin as a narrator, narrating over it. And yeah, it could start as a documentary on a Richie, and then it could go to Richie, Chaz, and Margot, and then it can go to Royal. And then like I feel like in the first part we always see Eli, Owen Wilson's character, kind of like just in the background. And then when he gets really big, because he becomes like the biggest artist in the world at one point.
Yeah.
He like jumps to being about him, and then it could that could be the second act, and then it jumps back to the Tenenbaums in the third act, all doing this. I don't know if Luke and Owen can sing.
Somehow in the time that they were filming Eli and like recording his life, all of the suing happened.
Yes.
Between the Tenenbaums.
There is like a lot of stuff you can make a documentary about.
They come back and like the Tenenbaums have fallen apart.
Yes,
they're like,
absolutely.
Oh, fuck, we can't stop filming now. This is great.
Yeah, this was maybe like only started out being like an interview with Richie, and then it turned into a full blown like multi-year documentary. Yeah,
until the end of Royal's life.
Yeah, we end at the funeral. Just like, well, we don't end.
Well, it's got to be a prequel. So we end at
it has to be a prequel.
Rachel's death.
Yes, it ends with Chaz's wife. You're right. It is a prequel. It ends with Chaz's wife's death.
Closing shot is Chaz like, get the cameras out of here.
Yes, absolutely.
Roll some text on the screen that's like, the Tenenbaums asked us to leave that day and told us to never return. We could use the footage we had, but we're asked to not gain any more.
Yeah, and then boom, Royal Tenenbaums sequel. Boom. I think ruined. I think that was a good one. I think we did it.
Nailed it. Easy home run.
Boom, knocked it out of the park. We're just gonna never talk about that Ip Man one. Is that Ip Man? Was it the Raider or the Ip Man? We're not gonna talk about it. All right, and that is our Wes Anderson trilogy, everyone. Grand Budapest, Moonrise Kingdom, and the Royal Tenenbaums. There are many more Wes Anderson films. If you did watch along with us and you did enjoy these, go check out the other ones because they're pretty good. I mean, the ones we didn't watch, Fantastic Mr. Fox is also one of my favorites. I recommend watching Bottle Rocket. Rushmore is my absolute favorite Wes Anderson film. So go check those out. But Wes Anderson is in the past now. We're driving off in our Ruining Movies mobile. I guess we have one of those now. Ruining Movie Bots actually driving. It'll be fine. Shane, what are we watching for next week?
Well, I've been dealing with a bit of a dilemma here. I was debating between crime and Western, and those are kind of like in the same arena. So I thought that's why I would bring it up to you.
Okay.
We could have a talk about it. Crime, Western, what thoughts? Or either or.
I think crime might fit better with like what we just went off of, but I also like Westerns.
Me too. So like,
do you have movie? Do you have a movie? I
have one for both.
Okay.
But you said crime first, so like maybe I'll lean into that.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, Wes Anderson is so like niche.
Yeah.
And A24 kind of leans into taking all those kind of types of people that like to do interesting stuff. And and
Wes
Uncut
Anderson
Gems
would
is
absolutely
on
be
Netflix.
produced by A24 if A24 was back doing stuff back then.
Yes. And Uncut Gems is on Netflix. So I figured crime, nice. A24, super cool, lots of fun. It's not fun.
I already think I know what I'm going to do for my crime movie. Perfect. Cool. I have not seen Uncut Gems. I'm very excited. Me
too. That's kind of why I picked it, because I knew you hadn't seen it.
Nice. All right. Well, that was the podcast, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's do some plugs and get out of here. Shane.
You can catch me live at twitch.tv/bringtheshane. I talk and game and do other stuff. Come hang out and have fun. That's about it.
I go to my YouTube, Farm Goat Plays. I watch Shane and I do Dummies Play on Monday. We're playing Minecraft, but in super duper hard mode. We've made the game very hard for ourselves. It's a very fun thing if you want to see. Not extreme gameplay, but extreme goofs and laughs. Go check that out. And that's it, everyone. We will see you guys next week as we talk about Uncut Gems. It is time to get crimey. That sounds like we're doing Australian films.
Crimey, mate.
Crimey. That's not a knife. All right. We'll see you guys all next week. I need to go get caffeine or something. Go eat food. That's it. As always, be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.
All right. Well, that's the podcast.
Fuck yeah, it is. Great job.
Hell yeah. Yes, agreed. I am actually going to get out of here and go eat food and stuff.
Okay. You know me. I'm on Tarkov.
For sure. I might be around later. I'll
bet.
let you know. All right. Peace.
Bye.
All right, chat. I'm out of here. Peace.